This is the free motion quilting tutorial for Giant Snail. This is stitched by first starting with a large spiral shape. And it can be a little tricky to stitch a really big spiral in a square shape, so if you have trouble with this initial part, you can always mark it, and that makes it a lot easier. But that's what you first start with, and the spiral is really your foundation, exactly like in the design that we did earlier, Spiral of Spirals. The spiral is simply kind of a foundation, a base for your stitches, the rest of the design to build off of. And if you lay a good foundation, then your design will look really, really good. So it's something that you definitely want to take your time on. Once you get your foundation laid, now you're just going to stitch from the edge of the spiral back to the point, the tip of the spiral, back and forth with a nice curvy line. And this is kind of a variation of another design that we've done already, and that was Fossil Snail. But I wanted to try it on a larger scale and see if it was any easier to stitch, if it was stitched big. And there is always the initial problematic area, and that's right at the very tip of, the central inside portion of the giant snail shape. But after you get out of there, it really starts coming together very, very quickly, because all it is a curvy line going back and forth from one edge of the spiral to the other. So it's actually quite easy, and you don't have to stitch it as densely as I'm doing right now. I'm stitching so that my lines are roughly about 1/8 of an inch apart, but the wider that you go with this stitch, I think it can still look very, very good. So don't feel like you have to stitch it really, really tight unless you want to. And here's what it looks like when you finish Giant Snail. For over 150 videos on free motion quilting, check out daystyledesigns.com.